English Broken Businesses. We are all about black excellence, bringing local entrepreneurs together to inspire and motivate you through business.
So it's simple. What you can do is to listen to this story and be inspired and show to you guys nothing is impossible. If they can do it, so nathi singayenza bantwana basekhaya. Sit down and chill and listen to this wonderful story.
Follow your dreams.
My first professional exhibition was in the US.
It's English Broken Business once again. Bekelibeke iviki neviki. Bathi amazambane ayaguquka, ama-chips ayayifraya. This time again, Bafethu, I'm very excited, super excited ngoba ngiphethe yaseKaslami yase-Israel, yase-Jos Goli, uMongezi, the abstract artist. Shapuze Brian.
Ola kazefede?
Umnandi. Mnandi Brian. I'm very excited, bro.
Same here, man.
Is it?
Yeah.
Antonio, I'm very excited to be here and interviewing you and coming to this amazing space, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, I like to use the word interview, but I don't want us to interview. Just have a talk, just have a conversation. Okay. So who is Mongezi, Brian? Like, greet our viewers and tell our viewers, who is this Mongezi?
Yeah, okay. Hello, I'm Mongezi Ncaphayi. I'm an abstract artist. I was born in Benoni in the east of Johannesburg, and yeah, just artist, printmaker, musician. I do a whole lot of things, man.
Wow, okay. You were born at Jose Benoni.
Yeah.
Why Benoni? Benoni Road.
Benoni, specifically Ewartville.
Ewartville.
Yeah, like
so it's close to a Davidton.
Close to a Davidton, yeah, but the smallest township.
Jeez. So we are from a very small township.
It's the very smallest township. Some people don't even know about.
They don't even know.
Who also live in the eastern.
Sure.
It's a very discreet, but it's very historical.
Wow.
Township, you know.
Wow.
I mean, like Oliver Tambo lived there. He was buried there.
You lying? Wait. Oh.
I'll tell you.
The great Oliver Tambo.
The great Oliver Tambo.
He lived in Whiteville.
Like,
and he's buried in Whiteville.
He's buried in Whiteville, like around where I live.
The great Oliver Tambo.
The great Oliver Tambo.
Like mina manje chose in 30 flight ETOR.
ETOR Tambo. So it's like 3 streets away from
your
his
house
burial site, and also his house like the next street.
You
know, like I mean, it's
wow. It's very historical.
It's very historical.
The fact that the great and iconic Baba Oliver Tambo, may his soul rest in peace, like he's buried at Kasla Kontoan.
The song in Chilo.
Oh, Chilo. Yeah. Oh, there's this series every day, Deep River. They use that song Chilo. Yeah, but I think now they just remixed the song. Yeah.
Actually, the composer of the song,
okay,
is a family friend who would always come before my grandparents, before they had a house.
Sure.
In Benoni, when they moved from the Eastern Cape, they lived with Umampinga and Alan Slinger. The Alan Slinger is the guy who wrote Chilo. So they're family friends from the same street.
Wow. Yeah.
And I can tell you,
it's a whole archive. It's a whole history.
It goes on and goes on.
So, yeah. So you're from Kaslama legends, the hood of legends and icons. You know, I've got this thing when I'm Mongezi Brian, and me and you, we can relate because we're from East Rand, we're from Echos, but obviously now we are based in Cape Town. You know.
Yeah.
One of the things that made me to start dreaming big or to have a positive mindset, it's when back in the days, you know, in the early 2000s, I would listen to your YFM, you know, and in the YFM we had the Grootman Letu, DJ Sbu, you know, and we had on KFM, Metro FM, we had Abo Tibos, you know, and then we have Abo Grootman, Abo Pile. Those were people that grew up in my hood, per se, Tembis. And I normally say whenever I'm having a chat with whoever, you need to represent Kaslako. You understand? Because one thing, when you represent Whiteville, there's a boy there in Whiteville who might not be watching this chat that we're having now, but in the next 5 years, 2 years, we'll be like, son, this international artist who are like us, that's going to motivate young Tola Braham, that child. So now what motivated me was like, son, Abosbu, they own friends like this, Abosbu, they own radio, Abosbu, you know, they all over, and then Usuke Kaslam, and it just motivated me, the fact that he's from my hood, you know. So that's why I like guys and whoever that comes to English broken business to have a conversation with us, to always represent where they're coming from, you know. So now take me through, Brian Mukulele, Whiteville. Which school did you attend? Your lower primary, your higher grade?
Oh, that history, eh?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of not really a problem child. I was just,
Yeah.
I just like to be naughty, you know, but I was like so smart, you know. So I started school when I was 4 years old.
4 years old.
And yeah, and I was I was attending school with like older guys, like really older guys.
Sure.
And actually I attended 3 primary schools.
Okay.
You know, not because, just because I'd get myself into trouble all the time.
Sure.
You know, but not so serious trouble, just
Yeah.
you know,
Into zengozi zokukhula.
yeah, and my grandmother, my mother would say, nah man, maybe he needs to, you know, move away, and then, you know, because the first school I attended, the Ukanyani Primary School,
Sure.
was just next to my street where I grew up.
Oh, okay.
You know, so, and everyone I grew up with, you know, we attended the same school, and then we were just so naughty. We did very extreme things
Little rascals.
when we were young. So somehow I think my grandmother decided, nah, I need to move and, you know, go to another school, and then it's, you know, went to 3 primary schools, and then I went to FS Mamkele High School.
Okay.
I think it was up until grade. When they started, I think that was a year when they changed to calling it standard 6 to calling it grade. Whatever.
Yeah. I remember that OBE,
Yeah,
outcome-based
something like that,
education,
you know.
when it
Yeah.
was introduced by the late Babu Kada Asma.
Yeah,
And then,
so-
it was no longer standard, it was grades. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, so as I say, like, it's in school, man, I was very, I didn't have it was easy for me. Everything, you know, and
You were a smart child.
I found it like, and then now somehow it would bore me because, whatever I was taught, I could catch easy.
Yeah.
You know, and I also like to fix things, you know, like my father's radio or my grandmother's go there and then just, you know, open it from the backside and just check what's happening and
Sure.
this and that, you know.
Very curious.
Yeah, and then at some point, my father decided I should leave school. Not that I really dropped out. He decided, nah.
So wait now, what grade is
I
that?
was in grade 10. Is it grade 10?
Standard 8.
Yeah.
Standard 8, sure.
Yeah, I was in, yeah.
Sure.
And then I had to leave, and then I went to a college.
Okay.
And then I started college.
So
And
you
next-
dropped out of standard 8
Yeah.
and then you went to college.
Yeah,
Sure.
because my father decided I should actually do something, you know, because I like to.
So you were good with your hands.
Yeah, I like to
Yes,
do,
sir.
you know.
And
to
then manje, in
fix.
time I can see that you actually wasting your time by being at school, like
Because now I was studying to bank school. I'll tell him it bores me, you know. And then in the textbooks, sometimes I'd have a disagreement with teachers, you know. Sometimes, no, because there would be. I remember there was a what you call. There would be some mistakes
sure.
in a textbook.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then now we're trying to solve this, or maybe to balance the what do you call, maybe a ledger book or
Sure.
whatsoever. And then I figure out that no, man, there's something wrong here. You know, maybe the numbers are twisted, or there's something wrong. You know. And then the teacher will be like, "Nah, you crazy, you this and this and this and that." And then after like 3 days or so, I prove it to him
Yeah.
that you see there's a problem, and then
And
So, yeah.
sorry to interject you and Mongezi Brian, is sometimes when you are a special kid, ne, especially us, you know, in our township schools, back in the days, I don't know now, but back in the days, they would like take time to discover the talent of this child. That's why now when you're saying that the teachers were saying which you are crazy, you were actually not crazy, but that's how smart you were. You understand? And some teachers would even think Uti, you actually think that you're better than me or you are trying to outsmart me.
Yeah, I think because he's a teacher, you know.
Do you understand? Do you understand? So back in the days, I don't know now, but back in the days, I remember some instances like guys that I went to school with, you know, teachers would be like questioning, would say, are you on weed? You know, are you smoking weed? Are you on something? Like, why is this child so smart? Why is this child so brilliant? You understand? So you were one of those kids when?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, because also of, you know, culture, you know, like how to approach old and the young, you know.
Wow.
So that was the main problems that we discovered. And also, I mean, I grew up like having sketchbooks all the time, you know. My father would just like, I had a lot and lots
So
of
you
sketch. So
like
all the
you
time
used
I would
to-
just, you know. So also in school, you know, I remember they would have things like free periods.
Yeah,
you
my
know,
free period,
where
sure.
you're supposed to be studying. You
And
know,
then
they give
others,
you-
they just go
and then
out
people
and
are
play
just, you know,
soccer.
doing
Abanye
this.
bayojola.
So what I would be doing here, I would be drawing. So most of the time, on almost all of my classwork books,
Sure.
there would be hidden drawings at the back.
Oh, okay.
And then the teachers would find out that now I have a drawing. I forgot I had a drawing. And then I'd be in trouble. I mean, it was.
Or like mabamaking what?
Yeah.
And then at the
And
back,
then at the back, he said
There's a
somehow
drawing
he found that
there.
there's a drawing. I should not be beaten up for that. You see, I've gotten beaten up for
it comes back to what I was saying, Wuti. Back in the days, they would think there's a problem with you. They would not see the potential. With a son, this kid is actually good in this. So when you get punished because of the talent that you have.
Yeah, and then they didn't understand.
Gee.
You see,
Sure.
I mean, you know, like with our history, you know, and then being an artist as a black artist back in the days and all that, you know. I mean, my father was a jazz bassist. My uncle was, you know, an artist.
Yeah.
But they had not to have to pursue those careers because now of the government then. You know, I mean, there was not much opportunities for black artists, you know, so they had to drop out. So even my father at some point didn't want me to pursue music, you see, because I grew up in a very musical family.
Okay.
What he believed in also is just that if you're going to be a musician,
Sure.
it would be better if you're a musician overseas than in South Africa because there's not much of jazz appreciation.
Oh, okay.
You know,
So you're from the jazz background?
I'm a jazz background, yeah, and then like you know, like serious jazz, you know. And
Yeah.
Some people, you know, they talk about jazz. Okay,
Yeah.
that's not good for jazz, but you know, like you know, you need to tell. I mean, when people say they go to a jazz festival and then it's like, nah, it's not a jazz festival. You know, they're playing whatever they're playing, you know.
Sure.
And so we are having that background, you know, and having thoughts of pursuing music.
Yeah.
I had challenges, so my father didn't allow me to do that. And also, just to being an artist at some point.
Yeah.
You know, so that's when I had to drop out from high school, and then I had to
Go to college.
and then I was doing business studies.
Okay.
But now also one of my other problems was that I didn't see myself going to work. I never ever wanted to work for anyone.
Spanilingam
I
lentwana.
never wanted to work for anyone. told myself I'll never go to work. On holidays, some peers of mine would go to
Bofuna
find a
isipani,
job to a McDonald's.
kasi. Sure,
I
sure.
said, "Nah,
McDonald's, the KFC.
So what I was doing, I used to sell
Gee.
pantyhose or panty stockings.
Sure.
I
For
used to
ladies,
sell
yeah.
ice cream. I used to sell
Ntwana.
roof, what do you call these? Roof nails.
Yeah. Oh,
You know?
okay.
I had a business like when I was 11, I was like running a serious business. I sold a lot of things.
Really?
I was serious in business.
Ntwana, you were hectic.
I was just, like there and there, to go back, everywhere, So, yeah, that's
Wow.
And when I started to when I switched from business studies and then I was studying like current engineering.
Okay. So, wait, did you finish your business studies, Lape College?
Kind
didn't?
of, not really, because I was just.
And then you switch
and
into
then,
engineering now.
This is just boring me. This thing, I don't know. These people because I also, I'm in class with like older guys. I'm like 16 years, 17. Some guys they're like 32. I'm like
32-year-old,
this person
yeah.
is
Like,
old. He has
when you were
kids.
small, like
They
classy.
call me small. They have kids. They're like, oh.
Sure.
And then now, I also have to help them, with other things. Like,
I'm a homework.
yeah, no, man, you must write homework. Because me, I say, my cousin taught me, like, if you have to write homework at school. Before,
classy.
Yeah. They give you now.
So when you were not doing your homeworks ending, you were doing your homeworks as girl.
My mind is still fresh. They just taught me this and that.
Gee.
My mind, and then, and then after that, they give me like 5, maybe for homework, maybe like 2, maybe like 5 or 6.
Sure.
And probably 10 equations to solve.
Sure.
I've solved those. And then my cousin taught me that you must also find the other ones that are difficult. The more you go further, the more difficult they are.
They
You
are,
challenge
sure.
yourself.
Wow.
And then I do those.
That
So-
was your cousin who gave you the advice.
Give me the advice.
Shout out to your cousin, bro.
Taught me how to study, and so also now as I was this young boy, and then I was like with these bullies. Mostly like in school, it was like bullies, and then I had to
Yeah.
befriend bullies so that I have this protection,
Sure.
And then I help them with their homeworks and with their school stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, it was just like that. It was just fun,
So now tell me, Mongezi, when you switch into e-writing from business studies to engineering, did you finish it?
I didn't finish it, man. It was, as I said, it was just like, I feel like I'm going back to standard 6 now. I'm in college. I'm thinking college is college. How they teaching me cash receipt journal. I'm like, hey.
Still, you don't find like
cash receipt journal. I was doing a cash accrued, whatever ledger now.
A high school.
Yeah. And then now you can get, I'm in college.
mine yaphinda like college.
And these people, they're slow. They're like,
Sure.
And then I ended up studying engineering, like current. And then I said I had thoughts of creating my own brand.
Okay.
So my thoughts were, my dream was to create my own brand of amplifiers.
Okay.
Or
Sound,
CD players, it's just sound, yeah.
Okay,
Whatever, electronics.
Sure.
So, yeah, because I was just good with these things. I knew how to fix, because also my mother and my grandmother worked at a factory
Sure.
where they manufactured telephones. It was called STC.
Okay.
So it was easy for me to, my mother would come and
To assemble-
to make some what do you call, a circuit board that lights up, and my cousin too also, So those things were like just toys for me.
This must be a very special cousin to you, because it seems like he taught you a lot of things. He taught you how to challenge yourself. He taught you how to fix telephones. At the time, there were no cell phones. There were no cellular phones. There were telephones.
They were telephones.
Yeah, like a Malin
He
line.
can fix, even now, he can fix cell phones.
Really? Yeah.
These things, the things that we,
And it was just a hobby, by the way.
we break things. Then you find like old electronical,
Sure.
you know, devices, and then you break them out. Okay, no, okay, when you study, okay, oh, this is a diode. Okay, this is a resistor. This is a transmitter. Okay. Sometimes I'll fix something without even having to, without what do you call the thing, to test. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, fix. I'll tell you the problem. I'll look at it. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, here's this thing. It's bent. You know.
Donna,
You know,
you are very smart,
fix
I
it,
must
and then
say.
you can just, you know, improvise there and there. Sometimes, you know, make things
No,
work.
you're very smart. And again, you know, in our household, ne, black households per se, I want to emphasize this point, Uti, when your child is good at something, you ignore that talent, you know, and you still want the child to finish his matric. Like, guys, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with matric. There's nothing wrong with finishing your high school studies. There's nothing wrong with going to varsity, with going to university or college. There's nothing wrong. But I think as parents, because we are living in different times, you know, one of the things that Japan and China they had to invest into was the skills of their people, was developing the skills, like putting all systems in place. You understand? So China found out that they were good with devices. They were good with handwork. They are not good with education and stuff like that, but they are good with devices, they are good with handwork, and they invested in such things. So us sometimes, I'm a parent, you know, I'm a parent, and I know how black parents sometimes I'm sorry to use the word, but naive or ignorant, that if we spot a talent, we become a little bit ignorant to it, like, no, my son needs to finish school, my daughter needs to finish school, my daughter needs to speak a better English, you know. Us as English broken business, we call it English broken business because it's a broken English, you know. Our English is broken. Our English is not an skewed English, you know, like a well-spoken English. It's not. But man just says that, foster, you know.
No.
And accept this thing of foster. If we are good at something, we're gonna do it in Xhosa if we're good at it, or we're gonna do it in Setswana or in Sizulu or in Tsonga if we are good at it, you know. And that brings me when you found out your gift, because this thing, like, you've been having it from from your lower primary, and then we are a college, we are high school, and then still you go to a college, but there's this thing, you know, at your shoulder, like, you know, it keeps on creeping, like, Ndwana, you need to do this.
Yeah, the thing is also, you see, with art most especially, okay, there's business studies, there's engineering.
Sure.
The thing is also, as I said, I mean, I grew up in this very historical township.
Sure.
And from a young age, I was introduced to, you know, a lot of history. You know, I knew my father, as I said, my grandfather, my uncles, and the people that were around me. You know, I knew so much about the artistic culture and some political history, you know.
Sure.
And so it was a thing that, yeah, I mean, at some point, you know, and then I felt it has to do with my family's heritage or legacy, you know. I had to, being an artist was just a thing. I felt like, you know,
Sure.
okay, my grandfather, okay, and my father and my uncle, you know, and then their cousins too, you know. I mean, my grandfather's house was just known, you know, people knew that they had jazz and arts,
Sure.
you know, those guys, you know. So I felt, no, I mean, these guys, okay, they quit, you know, and no one is doing it, and then this thing is a thing in our family. So I felt, no, I'm gonna take over. I'm gonna just be an artist.
Sure.
You know, and then I was good like from the onset. You know, I knew. You know, and yeah, at some point there was a time where I was no longer making drawings. You know, and I rediscovered art somehow.
Sure.
When I used to frequent the library, you know, and then I bumped into this guy who, it was a Saturday, I think, he had a class, you know, he just opened an art class
Sure.
for just children, you know, I think I was around about 17 or 19
Sure.
then. And then I come out, I think I was coming in or coming out of the library, and then I bump into this guy, I'm like, what the, you know? I'm like, no, man, this is art. I know this. This is me now. You
Sure.
know? And then I asked him,
You're finding yourself now.
and then I asked him if I could join. He said, no, okay, come. Next Saturday. Like, okay. I was so excited. Got there. And then, I mean, the children there, they was just like, from 8 years to 12 years. Me, I'm 17.
Sure.
And I was like, nah, sit there and just do whatever. We'll
Sure.
see. And then, I saw my first drawing. This is, but it was, you know how to draw. There's nothing I'll teach you.
That we can teach you, yeah.
You know? I'm like, yeah, but no, but I want you. You're like, okay, you keep on coming and just do, you know,
Yeah.
just do this, you know. And then I kept on going. And then, at some point, he referred me to a college that he went to.
Okay.
And yeah, I think after then I decided, I told my father that I'm not going back to study engineering.
Engineering.
We had
You
a-
already dropped out from your business studies. You're dropping out to engineering. Now you're pursuing art.
And then we had a serious problem with my father now with this, because now I was doing N4 or N5
Sure.
engineering studies.
Yeah.
And I said, nah, I don't want to do this thing. I want to do art. It's like, yeah, I'm like,
Grand.
this is what I want to do.
Sure.
Yeah, we had a fight, and then I had to leave. You know, he told
Leave
me
the house?
He told me he's not gonna pay for those
Your
studies.
studies.
And then it was just it was bad. And then I had to leave him, and I had to go and stay with my grandmother.
Jeez.
Told my grandmother, I have this problem and this and that. But anyway, it was close to my grandmother's. It was, because my father lives in Boksburg, so my grandmother lives in Benoni.
Sure.
And then I had to move back and live in Benoni, and then and then I didn't even have money to go and study. And then I told myself that, you know what, I'll go there. I asked my mother. She was not really working then. Also, she didn't have money. I asked her for 500 rand. I said, like, just please give me 500 rand, and then I'm gonna try and register at this college. I mean, back then the deposit would be what, 2.7, whatever.
Sure.
I had 500 rand, and then I had to walk 2 hours from home.
Bro, you're
college.
lying, man.
I walk, I get there
Hi.
early, and they were, you know, with art you bring your portfolio. They have to look at your portfolio. It's more like an audition.
Sure.
So, and then I speak to one of the, you know, the officials. They said, I told them I didn't have money. I want to talk about. They set me down. I said, you know what? Sit over there. We'll come to you.
We'll
once
come
we-
attend you.
You know.
So when I only had that 500 rand.
Only the trust.
So now wait, if you say you were walking from your house to Eskela,
Yeah.
to school, for 2 hours, it's like someone walking from a Kailicha to a town
Yeah.
every day.
Never missed class
So this was for how many years?
for 2 years.
For 2 years.
I never missed class.
You never missed class.
No. Come rain, come shine.
You were there.
Sometimes I get there, I'm soaking wet. I'll wake up and, I mean, maybe the rain would start. You know, Joburg, the rain in Joburg, pause, bro.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like
Yeah,
at
yeah.
4
When it
a.m.,
pause,
like,
pause, it was, bro. Sure,
I don't
sure.
have a problem. I'm not even thinking about the rain. I'm waking up. I'm like so excited to go.
Don't
and
shamar
do-
coat to fagama plastic. We
Ah,
are
mfaka ama-raincoat. I don't like to carry umbrellas. Nah, mfaka ama-plastic. Yabo. Petty bag
It's a
yami.
dream.
That's what.
bruh. It's a dream.
I want to
It's
do
a
this thing. This is a
dream. It's a
thing.
dream. Wow.
My grandmother, everyone, I think everyone thought I was crazy. My cousin, at some point came once, and he thought, when I was attending college, I was crazy. He thought I would quit. He actually gave me 2 weeks. He said, yeah, he gave me 2 weeks, and then I'll be,
You're gonna give
I'll
up.
be, I
You're gonna
didn't-
quit.
yeah,
Sure.
I didn't give up.
Wow.
I was going, I don't even have money to, my mother would sometimes it's just like 5 rand, and then, just buy the Pick and Pay bread, sometimes I don't even have money for lunch or something. Never,
you go to school-
Never took a taxi, never ever.
For 2 years, you never took a taxi. You were walking.
Never ever was walking. Even now, I gotten used to it. Even though somehow now could have, my mother would give me weekly.
Yeah, some pocket money, but still you would walk.
No, I was just
Because you are
used
used to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then that man, because now it's expensive to buy a paintbrush, to buy special paint or whatsoever, so that man had to.
And I know your equipment is quite
Yeah,
costing, eh?
So whatever money, small
Yeah,
money,
it's
I'd
quite
get,
costly.
and then I'd use to save up to. And then sometimes it's like some kids, there were some lazy kids somehow,
Yeah.
and they would they wouldn't have finished their projects or
Yeah,
whatsoever.
the assignments. and
Assignments.
stuff,
Now they're like panicking, and then
Where do I
yeah, check like okay,
And then you charge.
yeah, and then I thought, like, okay.
I knew. Sure.
And then now also now I have to
Becoming a
have
businessman.
to try and emulate their style.
Their style, sure.
You know.
Ingabonakala ukuthi hayi lesi isandla saka Mongezi
Yeah,
lesi.
it's like a huge drawing. And then,
Sure.
So for me, it's some kind of exercise that teaches me other things,
Wow.
And then it just was just like that. But I enjoyed it. It was just
Wow. Then let's now talk about, because I think we've talked about your struggles and your hardship, how you grew up and how you got into art school and everything. Then now you are starting this art, usuqedile, after art school, like you're doing this abstract, ne? It's
nah, I
abstract.
mean, I hadn't finished actually.
You even haven't finished?
So now I'm at this college in Benoni. Okay, it's more basic art history, And then there, at the college, I discovered printmaking. So I was studying painting, graphic design,
Okay.
history of art and drawing. But I discovered there's something called printmaking.
Okay.
I'm like, what? But nah, I want to do paintings, okay? And then I finished my diploma.
Sure.
And then now I wanted, at some point, I don't know, somehow I discovered there was a school in the city now, in Joburg,
Sure.
that teaches printmaking.
Okay.
They specialize in printmaking. And it's like 3 years. It's a 3-year certificate course. Actually, on the day I was supposed to go for graduation, the graduation day for my diploma. It was the day I was called to start class at the printmaking school.
Wow.
And I figured, you know what? I don't need to go and wear those gowns.
So you didn't go to graduate, you went to the class.
Actually, it was not a class, it was an interview. I was still going for an interview.
Okay.
I'm like, I already, I have the diploma. I don't have to go and take
So azama igqoka
I'm
imporampora.
like, guys, see that? I haven't, they know where else. Even today, I didn't even go and collect.
Your that certificate.
They know
Yeah.
mostly. I
Sure.
don't care about the paper. I was just,
Sure.
and then I went to start the printmaking.
Wow.
And then I did printmaking for 3 years.
Okay.
Then now my father is starting to also like, okay, you finished you finished your art, okay, fine, I'll let you finish. And then now you finished your 3 years, now it's 5 years.
Sure.
And then now I'm starting to work at the gallery at the school.
Yeah.
It's called Artist Prof Studio.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when I started to be like a professional artist. You know, while I was a student, I started to exhibit my works professionally. I started to
Yeah.
you know. But no, it was actually after I finished studying at Pinoni, Ekurlemis College in Pinoni.
Sure.
I somehow, I don't know, I had my works exhibited. My first professional exhibition was in the US.
Really?
Yeah.
Just your first
Yeah, but
sponges
it was
of art.
a group show, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then
So did you travel to US?
no, I didn't.
Oh, it's just a sponsor.
My work was there, yeah.
Oh, okay,
You know,
okay.
and then I was studying, and then now I was starting to understand the actual professional art world, you know, galleries and all that through Artist Proof Studio, you know, because now they bring in professional artists to come and do workshops, you know, we do some residencies, we do a whole lot of things. Yeah, and then I finished that, and then at some point, because, you know, Mongezi is like trouble somehow, you know.
Sure.
I like J chaos, you know, like to being naughty, but then I was sent to, I went to, it was in 2011, I went to study in the US,
Okay.
Boston at the museum school. It's called the School of the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. And I went
USA.
USA, yeah.
America.
Yeah, and then so I went there as an exchange student. I get there, okay, printmaking. Those guys, they like me so much, eh? They like, every lecture they ask me like, don't you want to stay?
Yeah.
Like,
Permanent.
no, they said, don't you want to stay and study more? I'm like,
Oh, okay.
if it's not a problem with you, if it's not
I
a
can
problem
stay.
with everyone, love me now, I'm fine.
Angangi.
Call my mother and tell her, okay, they're like, okay,
Sure.
they sort it out. They sorted it out. And then now I was starting I was now an assistant teacher.
Assistant teacher.
Yeah.
A USA.
You see, and
America.
And I'm a student. Some classes I'm a student, and then like 2 other classes I'm an assistant teacher.
So
and now I'm attending 7 days a week.
But wait, Mongezi, we're talking about someone that did not finish his matric. He dropped at standard 8 and went to a college.
Yeah, my matric.
And then he gets now to America. He becomes a tutor, if I should put it like that.
Yeah.
A teacher.
Yeah, I mean, the classes are connected by professors there. So, you know, I'm assisting, everyone has a master. You cannot teach.
Guys with PhDs and
You
masters.
cannot teach university without a master's, most especially in the US, if you don't have a master's degree. I don't even have that. I don't even have a degree of, you know, I just have my printmaking certificate. And I get there, I'm technically, man, I'm like, you know.
So you were teaching there without having the masters and the degrees and
Even I could go, even whenever I
the
go,
PhDs.
whenever they ask me to teach a semester all the time.
It's possible.
They always ask me to
It's
teach.
possible. You were called for that.
They're like,
You were called for that.
don't go, they need an etching,
Wow.
you know.
What other countries
And
you've
then
been?
they
Like?
don't ask me for, they don't care about it, like, nah, this guy must.
Sure.
Yeah, what other countries I've been to? I mean, I've been to some countries in Europe for residencies at some point in 2013 after.
Where in Europe exactly?
I've been to France, I've been to Holland, I've been to what? France, Holland. Yeah, most especially I frequent in Europe, I frequent France. I go to France a lot.
Oh, France a lot. Okay. To do exhibition. Yes,
To work. Actually, I was supposed to be in France right now.
Right now.
I was
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to have left maybe 2 days ago, whatsoever.
Sure.
To work with another printmaking studio. So it's called Atelier Le Grand Village.
Sure.
So they specialize in lithography.
Okay.
So I go there and then I work with those guys.
So any other countries that you've been?
Why am I forgetting? I've been to Italy.
Oh, Italy.
I've been to
You're in Africa.
yeah, that's bad. I've never been to any country. That's West.
That's
I
where.
always
So it's your Amsterdam, your Holland, your America, your Israel.
I've been Israel.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've been England. I've been
Oh, your London.
yeah. And then my work has been everywhere. I mean, I've shown my works in.
So do you have any maybe of the most influential people who are in the art space that have ever bought your work? Do you have any of
That
them?
have ever bought my work.
Yeah, your work. Do you have maybe?
Yeah, I mean, currently I'm working. Okay, currently now, I'm here and I'm working. It's called here. It's called the Cape Town Art Residency.
Cape Town Art Residency.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I'm working with Stefan Simkovich for the Simco Gallery in LA.
Oh,
And his partner David Altman. I mean, they've been buying my works for many, many, many years
Wow.
without me even knowing, you know. And yeah, I found out Stefan Simkovich is like this huge.
Wow. He's a giant in the art
He's a giant in the art. He
space.
knows, the greatest, one of the great art collectors. I've worked with Serge Tiroch, who runs the Africa Fest project, if I call it that, in Tel Aviv.
Oh, okay. Tel Aviv is
Tel Aviv in Israel.
Israel, yeah.
Yeah, he's also one of big collectors.
Wow.
And I've had my works collected by some museums, man. You know, the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston. Got my works collected by the Smithsonian.
Sure.
Museum for Black African American art.
Sure. And I hear that you also were friends.
In New York with Jack Ginsberg, Ampersand Foundation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
So is it, rumor says that when, Nelson Makam, I think, were you guys working together, were you guys friends?
yeah. I mean, they were good friends with Nelson. You know,
Because Nelson has like sold some pieces to your Beyoncés, your Jay-Z's, to your Black Coffees of this world.
yeah.
So like you've worked with him.
No, I mean Nelson's.
You're friends. You're out
my
here.
friend, you know. Yeah, you know, and, at some point, you know, there was a time because of my
Yeah.
naughtiness, you know, and
Yeah.
I was into some trouble, and
Sure.
then he called me, told me, you know what, come and work in my studio.
Wow.
Because I see.
And shout out to him,
You
bro.
know, and then
Shout out to Dave.
and then,
Yeah.
you know,
Shout out to Nelson. Shout out to
was-
Nelson.
He knew, you know, that
You're a special
kill
guy,
it,
special
you know.
breed.
I kill
with a
it, but
special
now
talent.
there's things that I,
Yeah.
you know, tend to
Wow.
do, which, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
derails me, you know, and
Okay.
yeah, and then he called me and said, no, man, come, and then, yeah, and then I was working with him, like for, I don't know, 2-3 years,
Wow.
and then I decided to get a studio of my own, and yeah,
Wow.
started. Even now, I've had some problems, you know, some professional
Hiccups and
you
all
know,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, there's been some snags somewhere there and then. I
Every
call-
business has got
you know,
those.
and then
Every
I called
business has
him, and
got
then he said,
those.
no, man, just okay, we'll fix this, you know.
Yeah.
Give me a call. So
Just
I'm
one
busy
phone
with this,
call away.
You know, yeah. So, I mean, I've worked with Nelson, man, since we were at Artist Proof Studio, actually.
Sure.
You know.
Wow. And what's your highest piece that you've ever sold? Like your most expensive piece that you ever sold?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know now. I'll tell you about the piece. Why do you have to tell about mine? I don't have to tell about you know, but yeah,
Figures, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, my works range is from,
Or the range? Oh,
let's say,
okay.
let's not say, yeah, they just
Okay,
range
it
from,
ranges from how much?
from 30, 30, 30, 35, 30, let's say 40 grand,
40 grand upwards.
yeah, to 3,
40 grand.
300,000.
Like
I mean, work of,
40K to 300,000.
yeah, and then a work of mine, I had a work that was sold at an auction. Yeah, it hit a world record.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, the work was estimated for what, 68 grand, and then it actually sold for 190.
That's history,
something,
bruh.
you know?
That's
Yeah,
massive.
you know, so
That's
and
massive.
then I've had made some bigger pieces, you know.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's massive, man. That's massive.
I've had people, man, who come and buy like, yeah, there's people who also wanted to just buy the whole show.
Yeah.
You know, some guy comes in, it's like, what the? I want to buy all of these works.
Jeez.
You know, so yeah, I mean, there's guys that I've worked with who, I won't mention their names because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
like
yeah,
to
of
be
course,
private,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's just what they, yeah.
Yeah. But then now, before we finish our chat, Sesivala Prayamine,
Yep.
I want to find out from you, Uti, I know there's challenges, it's business as usual. Business fluctuates, you know, there's ups and downs and all that, you know. Us as English broken business, we thank you so much. You know, we really appreciate the opportunity of you inviting us to this beautiful space. You know, we are here in Woodstock at Cape Town Art Gallery, right?
Cape Town Art Residency.
Art Residency, Cape
Yeah.
Town Art Residency.
Yeah.
I have to say it right, Cape Town
It's
Art
an art
Residency.
residency. Yeah, it caters for artists around the world.
Oh,
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
as you can see, these are works by
yeah, I can see the work here
some Zimbabwean artists.
behind us.
There was a guy, a young guy, I was working alongside with originally from Congo.
Sure.
And actually today we just someone just came, an artist from Finland,
Oh, okay.
Tunisia, Finland.
Sure.
So yeah, she just arrived today. So and then
So
on
you're gonna be
Friday
working
there's
together.
also another artist coming from
Yeah.
England. So it's not mainly African. It's just like international.
No, we thank you, Mongezi. We thank you, Brian. We
It's
thank you
my
for
pleasure.
inviting us to your space and see your work. I know the day before I was with you and we left very late, you know, we left in the morning around midnight and I was seeing you working very hard. You know, there's days like you told me you only sleep 2 hours, you only sleep 3 hours. So whoever that's watching us, you've got a gift or you've got a talent or you are aspiring also to become an artist, whether it's a portrait artist or it's an abstract artist like what Mongezi is doing. The market for this type of art is huge, it's massive. We would like to say to you, sacrifice, it's needed, guys. You need to sacrifice. If needs be that you're gonna stay away from clubs, you're gonna stay away from friends, you know, you're gonna stay away from social media just for you to focus on that art. Do so because it's gonna pay back, you know. One of the quotes of Mr. Les Brown, he says, aim for the stars. You know, you should aim for the stars. And if you miss the stars, at least you can land on the moon, you know. So you must always aim big. You must always aim huge. So as English Broken Business, we thank you. We thank you, guys. You see, we are feeding you with a lot of info, with a lot of inspiring people. Remember, we are here to inspire you, to motivate you, and also to remind you that it's possible. as a black person, Lapekase Township, here it's Mongezi, a man who dropped out standard 8 in the Kabanga, standard 8. And he has traveled the world. He has seen fine land. He has been to Amsterdam. You know, he has been to Israel. He has been to US, to Boston, and he even does lectures that side. So it's possible for me and you, to whoever that's watching us, it's possible. So guys, Jay and Joyelo, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and do follow the work of Mongezi. Mongezi, where can the people find you, Brian? On Insta, Twitter,
I'm on
Facebook.
Instagram and Facebook. Mongezi Ncaphayi.
Mongezi Ncaphayi.
Yeah, Mongezi
Oh, okay.
Ncaphayi.
So there's no underscore, just Mongezi
Mongezi
Ncaphayi.
Ncaphayi, yeah.
Sure.
Then
So people can find you there, they can DM you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mongezi Ncaphayi, spelled Mongezi, I mean, it's Mongezi, then
Yeah.
Ncaphayi.
Sure.
Danko
is thank you.
Yeah.
Danko is thank you. Beke libeke iviki neviki washa mazambane. So Mongezi, for the young artists that, for instance, Mina Brian Mongezi, I've got my nephew back at home at Joe's. You know, he loves art, but he does a portrait art. So in that space, whether it's a portrait art or they're doing the abstract, the one that you're doing, how can they, you know, break into this industry?
I mean, first thing, you just gotta be yourself. Just gotta be true to yourself. You know, just do what that comes from your heart.
Sure.
You know, I mean, sometimes you might see something that's trending, and then you're doing this other thing, and then you want to switch. Sometimes you must believe. The thing is, you must believe in what you're doing. You must know.
Sure.
You see, and yeah, you just have to be disciplined, man. You
Sure.
know? Discipline, you know.
All the way.
Stay out of trouble. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
Stay out of bad stuff.
If there's a young kid somewhere who's watching and will be like, son, I would love to be mentored by Mongezi, is that open? Would you do that?
Mentoring, I don't know, yeah, maybe, you know, because me, I've
Yeah.
never even had to want to be mentored, you know. Because,
Yeah, but just
I
maybe
mean,
some advice.
There's,
you know?
I mean, I grew up, you know, guys, you know, there's bad stuff, there's, you know, so people will ask me, who do you
Look up to.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then I thought, I mean, I don't really want to be like anyone, you know.
Just want to be
I
yourself.
just want to be myself,
Okay.
you know. And I don't want to be like that guy. Instead of you know, growing up, I don't want to be like this guy. I just,
Sure.
yeah, I mean, there's people that didn't want to be like them, you know.
So they must just be themselves.
Just be
But the industry is open. Is that what you're saying? The
Just
industry
have
is
to be- The
open.
industry is open. You just have to be disciplined. You just get to know your man. You know how to position yourself.
Okay.
You see, because also it's just about positioning yourself. You know, I mean, you see some guy. I mean, it depends what you want. You know, some artists they want quick bucks, and now, you know, and then you start going, and so you see guys selling at the robot or at the
Yeah.
Okay.
They just want a quick buck, yeah.
You know?
Sure. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong
Sure.
with it, you see.
Yeah.
And then there's guys like me who can stay months, you know, without just being broke.
But
just
the
being,
day-
the thing is just being true to what I want to do,
Sure.
you know, and then
Sure.
developing what I want to do. Because now I want to be honest, you know, I just don't want to make art that's too commercial. You know, I want something that has meaning, that someone wants to live with, you know, for many
So you
years.
can,
and
you
then-
can okay, what Mongezi is saying is that you can take months of being broke, right? When, Mongezi. But the day you make sales, those sales can last you for the next 2-3 years.
That's it, you know.
English broken business, Danko is thank you. Out there say pendule yonke into. Umnandi Mongezi bafethu iphethe isinokono iphethe inyuku.
My aim is, I want my name to be written down in history. You know, I want people you know, to read about me.
Yeah.
And then now if it's a metal robot, quick bucks,
Yeah.
So that's why I want to develop a
Sure.
style, you know, a technique, you know, and master this, you know, and change and, you know, make history.
Sure.
You see, because I mean, what is it about?
Wow.
You know,
Tanayam Nyabonga,
my
Tanayam.
name,
I know Mina now, like we can go on and on and on and on.
yeah.
But Brian, thank you so much.
man.
The sky is not even the limit.
Nah, the sky is
Continue
there,
inspiring those young kids, inspiring us also as English Broken Business guys. Please, let's follow him. Mongezi Ncaphayi. Follow English Broken Business, like his work. If you would like to DM him, he's free to answer your DMs. We are also dropping tomorrow, Thursdays. Every Thursdays, we're dropping. Thank you. Shout out.